Hi everyone, it's 5:45 and this is your closing comment. It is video number 425. Okay, so after the close we had earnings from two really big names, both of them positive, both of them higher. The first was Adobe, which beat on all metrics. It had closed at 497.67, up 11.76, and since then traded up to 522. The last on it is 508.50, and that's up 22.59. We also had FedEx, which beat everywhere and gave good guidance as to next quarter's delivery rates. The stock had closed 236.67, up 33 cents, and since the number came, it traded up as high as 260.33, and the last is 257. That's up 20.63. Apple had a little bit of a sell-off after the event today, which is fairly typical. Doesn't mean that it won't start tomorrow morning on the upside when people digest what actually was said. I didn't listen to it, so I'd be hard-pressed to make a comment about it. Financials were noticeably weak with news in a couple of places. JP Morgan downgraded their net interest margins to 55 billion, which was down from their previous number of 56. So nothing really overwhelming, but the stock finished at 99.28, and that was down $3.19 or 3.1%. And Citi, which has been in the news for a couple of days, also came out with the fact that they need to deal with their risk management, and it looks like there may be a federal fine for it. The stock closed 44.81, down 334 or 7% after being down 5% yesterday. So that's somewhat of a problem. We had Caterpillar, which put out August sales, which were a disappointment. The stock closed 148.60, down 3.2% or $4.91. We had one upgrade, Next Era, which is the symbol is NEE. It's a utility, and it closed at 295.70, up 13.78 or 5% on solid guidance going forward, and a split of 4-1. Again, not really overwhelmingly meaningful, but I guess they're taking a page from Tesla and Apple's book and hoping for the best. On the futures side, we were up $1 and change in the oil. The chart on the screen is gold, and I was a little bit disappointed. It did close up on the day, and it was substantially, well, it was higher. It traded 1982.40. But it closed a little closer to the low than the high, and that was disappointing because I thought it might launch, and it still may. Nat gas was pretty much unchanged. The dollar was up after having a soft open this morning. Let me just pull that up, and we'll take a look. And Bitcoin had a very narrow range today. Only, let's see, 10,645 to 10,975, finished up 110, but that is a pretty quiet day for Bitcoin. And as you can see, they tried the downside this morning. I think I mentioned that in the pre-market open, pre-open comment, but it did come back. And even though it didn't break above this little down, little down trend line here, it did come right up to it, and it did close up on the day and up about 3/4 on the range, which is, pretty nice. Now, I bought in the large account. I bought the coffee ETF, as I mentioned this morning. I was thinking about it, and I'll show you. The coffee closed down $1.25 after a big down day yesterday. But more importantly, it came all the way down to the 50-day moving average and then turned back up and closed pretty close to the high. And those are the kind of pullbacks that you really like to see. And the lumber, after a couple of days of actually trading, couldn't manage to hold, and we were down the limit again, down $29 at 640 and change. You can see we were actually up the limit, but into this resistance from the last break where we rallied up. This is our second trip up to the same price and a close on the low. Now, if we break this low, I'm going to say we go all the way to the 100-day MA. As far as stocks go, market internals, we were about 1.2 to 1 up in both the NYSE and NASDAQ. Volume was, about what it's been averaging. But the Dow, which was up over 200, actually closed up $2.27. The big winner was, again, the NASDAQ, up 133.67 or 1.2%. S&P up 0.5% or 17.66. The Russell was up $1, and transports were up 96 or 0.84%. So that's about it. I will be back first thing in the morning. Oh, two more things. NIKOLA. The Department of Justice has joined the SEC, as has the Attorney General from New York, looking at whether NIKOLA misrepresented in that now infamous video. And the stock, which tried a little bit to the upside, finished the day 31.25, down another 4.5. This stock was $54 and change 4 or 5 trading days ago. Also, IPOB units. That is Chamath. I can't mention his last name because I can't say it. This is another SPAC, and Palihapitiya, Chamath Palihapitiya. He's the guy who did the deal with a SPAC that put made Virgin Galactic public. And he went into a real estate company called Open Door. And he thinks that he has a fairly disruptive technology. The units, which I think we paid about $11 for, closed today 18 and high change. The regular common stock was 17 and change, and that was also up about 2.5 or $3. All right, everyone. I'll learn how to say his name for the next time. And please remember, if you like the work, hit subscribe. Have a good evening. I'll be back in the morning.